Welcome to Helping Hand. Our episode here is entitled Words Cut Like a Knife. So when I was a kid, if you had a problem with somebody, if you somehow couldn't talk it out, sometimes you did actually fight it out. You fought it out. Most of the time it was, just a push or a shove or something like that. If it came to a punch or two, if a punch was thrown or a wrestling match started up for some reason, there was always friends or bystanders around, and they would pretty much break up the fight. It might get a black eye here and there, or a bloody nose, or a bloody lip. That's it. Nothing serious. But today, it just seems that people really, really go out of their way to hurt each other with words, a lot more so than used to be. And cruel words can cut you like a sharp knife. Sarcastic, biting, ruthless words can stay with you and cause a lot of pain. More pain than a physical slap or a hit or a punch. The days of sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me are pretty much done. Now, in my neighborhood, there was this one guy I grew up with named Joey Dolan. Joey was short. He was pretty overweight, but he always tried to fit in, just to be one of the guys, one of the boys. But he was always the target of jokes. Other boys would see him as an easy target to pick on and make fun of. They'd use him to get laughs. And there was nothing that they left out or left alone. The neighborhood kids, they'd make fun of his clothes, his face, his size, even his family sometimes. They seldom, if ever, laughed with Joey. They pretty much always laughed at him. So on one hot summer day, a bunch of us kids decided to go down to the Passaic River. Back then, the river was a good place to fish, and lots of us would swim there too. I remember the day like it was yesterday. Again, it was a hot summer day. We decided to make a raft out of some used car tires. The lots nearby were filled with old, thrown out, car tires, truck tires, just tires, okay? The lots, they were full of them. So we all gathered them up and we made a raft. It took 8 of us to carry this tire raft down to the river. It was big. And that's when life happened. The river was going fast that day. It was rough, strong currents, and we got on the river and we got caught in one. We really did. We started going faster and faster, and all you could do was just hang on to that car tire raft. Don't let go, because if you got pulled into those currents, it could drag you under the water. Then, as we're going down, a tree branch tied to a rope landed on the raft. Joey was on the side. He yelled, "Grab it and hang on." So we all grabbed the rope, and Joey pulled us closer toward the riverbank. He saved us all that day from quite possibly drowning.
Guys, that looked like fun. Too bad the raft floated down the river. Mike, are you guys going to build another one?
No more rafts for me. I thought we was all goners. Joey, thanks, man. You really saved our butts. Bobby, can you believe Big Joey is the man, right?
Joey, I know you look like a sumo wrestler, but you're as strong as one, too. Where'd you get that rope from?
Look, that's the tree you guys tied me to a few weeks ago. When I got out, I just left the rope there. I guess you guys are lucky no one took it. Todd, I thought your dad would have been mad at you for losing his rope.
Yeah, Joey. He was going crazy looking for it. He asked me if I used it. I just shook my head. No. My mom told him to check the back of his truck and his workplace. He then got a call and somehow forgot about it.
Yeah, that call was from your dad, Todd. He called my dad to see if he had his rope. My dad tore the garage apart looking for it. I knew he used it to tie Joey to the tree, but I wasn't going to tell him that. So I just let him go crazy looking for it. He must have asked me about 20 times if I saw the rope. I just kept saying, nope.
So, can I now be with you guys? Can I be part of the gang? You may need me to save your lives again.
Hey, Joey, of course now you're part of the gang. What do you say, guys? Isn't Joey the badass? He saved our skins. For the first time in my life, I was really scared. I just knew if I let go of those tires, I was going to drown. We're all lucky to have you as a friend there. You're the man.
And with that brave act of courage, Joey made himself a part, finally, of the neighborhood kids. He was in. Now he had real friends. Okay, we all still tease him a little, gave him a name or two, a little shot here and there, gave him the business, but we never did it to hurt him. Never. So, all right, so years passed by, and lo and behold, Joey became a fireman. Huh? So when he got into the fire department, we all had a big party for him. I had the local bakery make a cake that looked like a raft made out of car tires. We gave him a big box with a tree branch and a rope inside. We all laughed our butts off. No one else knew what it meant, but we did. All his friends did. Then there was this girl named Mary Conforti at the party. She said some really great, loving words about Joey and offered up a toast for him.
Hi, everyone. Let's all toast Joey's safe and exciting life as a fireman. I know he will rescue and save many lives, just like he did for me. When I overpoured the charcoal lighting fluid and was standing a little too close to the barbecue when I lit it, Joey was the first one over to me. He put my clothes out that were on fire. He saved my life. So let's all drink up.
Mary, we all love you. Look at you. She's a nurse at Memorial General. She saves lives every day. A toast to you too, Mary.
But I have to say this. Here's what most of you don't know. My last 2 years of high school were horrifying. That fire burned the right side of my face. I look almost normal now after a lot of surgeries, but back then in high school, I looked like a monster. I was called every name from Scarface to burnt toast. These kids didn't have a clue about the courage that it took me to even go to school. And every day, the relentless words would cut me like a knife. I come very close to giving up sometimes, but Joey always stopped by my home and talked to me. And he always made me laugh. That's the man I know, and he's my hero.
Mary, you are the strongest person I know. And I came to see you every day because you were my friend. And I always loved you. Actually, ever since grade school.
Well, love is strong. Here's what a man will do if he loves you. He'll love you for who you are. He'll love your soul, not just your body or how you look. And he will always be there for you. That's the beauty of a real love. How terrifying it must be going through high school and not only dealing with your body that's been burnt, but really bad, vicious, hateful name calling. It's verbally abusing somebody. It's the bottom line. It's insults that are said in a way that are pretty much bullying. Here's the best way I know how to deal with being made fun of. You need to take a minute, gather your thoughts, take a deep breath, maybe have a drink of water or something if you can, then say something like, calmly, by the way, that really hurt my feelings. Respond to someone in a polite, calm tone, because yelling back at them is only going to make things worse. Most of the time, this name calling not only hurts someone's emotional state of mind, but it leaves some lingering pain, believe it or not. Once again, the old childhood saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's wrong, and it's pretty much in the rearview mirror anymore. Name calling and being made fun of can really and truly cause folks to become depressed, make them feel worthless sometimes, helpless, out of control, or sometimes they even think of suicide. Name calling is painful. My sister Judy can attest to that.
Hey, my brother is right. I was called every name in the book for being overweight. As a kid, I was called chubby, and then in high school, I was called fat. Kids call me a blimp, a circus tent, an elephant, jelly belly, and a whale. They all thought I ate unhealthy foods and had bad eating habits. They believe I didn't exercise and I just sat around eating everything. But the truth is, my obesity came from my genetics. Many medical disorders are associated with childhood obesity. I was just the lucky one in our family to have one. I remember a teacher telling my parents they shouldn't let me watch so much TV. They thought my parents just sat me in front of the TV with a bowl of snacks, and that's why I'm so big. Sweetheart, we didn't even have a TV in our home. Bobby, did you ever come over to watch TV at my house?
No, Judy. Whenever I came over to see your brother John, we played outside. In fact, your mom always gave us cut up vegetables as snacks.
And who else always played with you guys?
You did, Judy. We played together. In fact, you were always faster than we were, and you were the best soccer player I knew. I remember no one could stop you from scoring a goal. Right, Todd?
Yes. And that's why I always picked Judy to be on my side. She was the fastest kid I knew. I remember once we were playing against the kids on Garside Street. They had older kids on their team. You remember, Bobby, what happened?
Isn't that when I got a bloody nose? We got into a fight with them because they pushed Judy to the ground.
That's right. We had a rumble, all right. Those Garside kids were cheats, bullies, sore losers. And when they pushed Judy down, I remember Joey, Mike, me, you, and Judy fighting them all. I mean, some kids ran home, but we stood pat and we battled with them. Then Judy ran to the soccer ball and kicked for a goal. She won the game.
Judy, I never understood why you let those high school kids call you names. We know you could have handled them.
You know, I want to know too, why didn't you just slam one of those bullies? My father told me never to let a bully get the best of me. He told me if I had to defend myself, I should. And he would always have my back.
Believe me, there were plenty of times that I went to fight with him. But because my parents knew about it, this is how they wanted me to handle it. I always had to tell them who was calling me names. I told my teachers, school helpers, I told my friends, and I just avoided those kids and surrounded myself with people who really liked me, people who were my friends. I always felt good about myself and stayed calm. And, finally, if I had no choice, I would say, no, stop it in a loud voice. So everyone around me knew what was happening. That's how I got through high school.
Wow. It's just wow. You know, as a parent today, it is hard seeing your child get shoved around, pushed around, and bullied. I was made fun of at school years ago. Even today, my ears are big. I got big ears. I was called Dumbo so many times. I thought I could fly, And Dumbo, was the circus flying elephant born with the humongous giant oversized ears, as big as wings. I don't like Dumbo, I have to tell you. But anyway, when my child started to get bullied for his ears, I let him know how I was bullied for the same thing. Then I discussed the situation with his teacher. I always built up his confidence and his self-esteem. I encouraged him to get involved in school activities. I told him the bullying was not his fault and that we would always support him. We always wanted to know first before he did anything against those kids bullying. Granted, sometimes you don't have a chance to do that, but whenever possible, I told him to let us know. We didn't want our boy to get into any trouble. That's how I've handled it as a parent. Okay, back to the story. So, Joey Dolan became a fireman. A very courageous career to have. Firefighters have some of the highest job satisfaction ratings of all career fields. Did you know that? Main reason is because being a firefighter is all about protecting and helping people in the community and responding to their emergencies. You see great people in a bad situation usually. I think Joey Dolan is perfect for this profession. Don't you think so, Mary?
Yeah, Joey is a born hero. He's a natural, but it scares me that he may be rushing into houses or buildings on fire. When everyone runs away from the fire, Joey's running towards it. I'm worried for his safety. My uncle was a fireman. Before Joey joined the fire department, I had him talk to my uncle, Peter Russo.
Hey, Joey, congratulations. I heard you're going to be going away to fireman training. The academy will prepare you through rigorous hands-on drills and as well as classroom studies to prepare you. It's about give or take 200 hours of training. Are you ready for that, Joey?
I'm ready, sir. This is what I have wanted all my life. I wanted to help and serve my community when needed.
Well, Joey, I've been a fireman for 25 years. I've helped and saved hundreds of people. There's nothing like the feeling of rescuing someone from a blazing fire. But it's a hard job, both physically and emotionally.
I understand you need to be physically strong, but what do you mean by emotionally strong?
Well, it's when you go to sleep at night, Joey. I remember it like it was yesterday. A terrible house fire. This never leaves my mind. I went into the burning house all geared up. When I entered, I heard a baby crying. I went into the bedroom, and there was a mother passed out from the smoke, holding a baby wrapped in a towel. I grabbed the woman and the baby and carried them out of the house. The EMTs, they rushed towards me, grabbed the woman and the baby, and then I ran back into the house to fight the fire.
You're a true hero, sir. Mary never told me about that. Your family must be so proud of you.
Well, for one thing, she never told you my story because it's also my nightmare, Joey. The woman survived, and her baby spent a long time in recovery from inhaling smoke. Sometimes the smoke from the fire overcomes people, and that's why they don't make it out. The baby's lungs got filled with soot, which made it very hard to breathe. And I would go to the hospital every day to check up on the baby's recovery. Sometimes firemen get emotionally involved. We're just human. How can you not? But every once in a while, when I lay my head down at night to sleep, I can still see that baby wrapped in a towel in her mother's arms. And I can even hear her crying still.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe what you're telling me. That is something I never want to experience on my own. I could never deal with that. How can you?
Now, remember, Joey, this is my story. Hopefully this won't happen to you, but I know too many firemen with similar stories who are suffering emotionally. They should all get mental help. There's doctors and support groups that help, but hey, I know you were always there for my niece, Mary. You made her life easier. She only survived that bullying in high school because of your friendship and caring. So I am offering you my helping hand. Let me be your mentor and best friend. I'll share all my experience and knowledge as a fireman with you, and I'll always be there to listen and to hear you. Together, we can survive whatever outcome you experience while rescuing and saving someone.
And so ends this episode of Helping Hand. Helping Hand was created and conceived by Joel Emil, who's also the writer of this episode. And here are the actors and the characters they've played. Speaking of Joel Emil, he played Joey Dolan. Ryan Evans played Bobby Stein and Mike Talese. And Todd Jones. Steve Douglas played Peter Russo. Ruby Sandy played Junie Salerno. And Audrey Larson played Mary Conforti. We want to give you a big thank you, Gino, our friend Gino DiPiero of HamiltonRadio.net. He's our producer and our recording engineer. Me, I'm John Thielon. I'm your host and narrator. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking it out. And we will catch you next time, as we always do, right here on Helping Hand. And as always, keep the faith. Don't give up. Don't ever give up, because your opportunity is closer than you think. So long.